new mix. Hot shit. Hot shit. Let's go. 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 Go.
How do you? I don't even know how to pronounce the guy's name. Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti. Michael Illuminati. What's his name?
Possibly Michael Avenatti.
Avenatti. That sounds closer to than what I said.
Avenatti. I heard, yeah.
Yeah, the domestic violence stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? What's so funny too, the way, because I always think about like when they were in court together, and I'm not too sure if these are memes or if I'm blurring that with the actual court proceedings. But I remember always kind of having that ham on this bitch's shoulder, like, all right, bitch, pipe down, bitch, pipe down. So I was always thought to myself, like, man, he kind of seems like, you know, one of them types. You know what I'm saying? That when this woman get out of line at a Christmas party, he be backhands the shit out of her. You know what I'm saying? No one says a goddamn thing because they know that she was getting annoying as hell. So the fact that he got arrested for domestic violence, I'm not too sure how shocked I am by this. Or
now, question though, did you see how weird the whole scenario got after he got arrested?
No. I didn't. And to be honest with you, I didn't think I saw anything more than a headline on this. So I'm actually very interested to go in on this right here.
So Shouts out to, I forgot the website that I was reading up on this, but so one of Trump's biggest adversaries, California attorney Michael Illuminati, was arrested on November 14th, 2018 for a felony domestic violence case. Now reports
felony.
Felony.
Messed her up, but good. Yeah. This is that's having to get look at him.
Now reports since the arrest show it's still unclear as to what even happened. So his arrest was first reported by TMZ, claiming the victim was his estranged wife. But the same day the story came out, both of his ex-wives refuted the claims, each stating that they weren't the victim in question, and furthermore that he had never been abusive towards either one of them. Then TMZ came out and reported and said that it was a completely different woman that he abused. Then TMZ came out and was like, no, it wasn't a woman. He had beat up a guy. And so there is mass confusion onto what even actually happened. And so Mr. Illuminati is claiming that this is actually a political attack against him. And he tweeted out, whomever wrote and approved that TMZ article better get their checkbook ready because it was purposely malicious and false. It was designed to harm Lisa, me, and my family, and we're going to expose TMZ for what they did. No journalist should rely on or defend garbage like that. So it looks like he did get arrested, but he didn't get charged with anything, and nobody knows what actually happened. And what is interesting is this is also dating or brings back memories of when Stormy Daniels did that little strip club thing out in Cleveland. And remember, she got arrested for something, and then it turned out that it was a fake arrest because it was just some cops that were Trump supporters that arrested her. Might have had.
Well, technically, the one in Ohio really did pop off, and the whole reason for it is. So check this out. So she was in, I don't know if it was in Dayton or Akron. She was in Ohio somewhere, and she had let a fan, like, you know, grab her titties or something. And usually it's a no-touch policy. And for whatever reason, there's a state law that prohibits any exotic entertainer from hugging or caressing or pretty much having any kind of sexual acts upon someone or with someone that isn't direct family. So pretty much, if her baby was in there trying to get a, you know what I'm saying, trying to drink some milk out of her titties in between one of her shifts, that would be totally okay, and it's all right for it to be in public because it's immediate family. Because this was a fan that they got, you know, they had the chance to motorboat the bitch. That was a total no because they weren't family.
What I heard though was that it is a law, but it's something that has actually never been. They've never used the law. Right. So from what I brought up was that this has happened multiple times in the strip club where a fan will touch someone, but things happen. It's a strip club or whatever. But there were some Trump supporting cops that were in there that decided, hey, now we have a chance to go ahead and move in on her like a bitch. And so that is true that it is a law, and technically by definition she broke the law, but it was a law that is normally not enforced. Just like there's a law, I can't remember if it's Arizona or Hawaii, but there's a law where if you spit I think it's Hawaii. If you spit on the sidewalk, you can go to jail. So it's a law, but it isn't really. People don't go out of their way to arrest people for spitting on the sidewalk, but it is something that if you choose to do it, it is a law. And so kind of that was the same thing with the Stormy Daniels thing, was that there was a law broken, but it's something that's normally not enforced because who gives a fuck? They're at a strip club.
Like, was it BS? No doubt. Isn't that a dream come true? Yeah, no doubt. Again, it just is getting just how they did with you, Verse. Unfortunately, brother, they saw an opportunity to throw the book at someone.
Let's get that nigga.
And they got you good. And that's just, again, so is it messed up? Yeah. And I'm also wondering too, did he in fact play hands up? Because that's a far stretch for you to say that, you know, it was, you know, your wife, which obviously looks bad in the papers and totally, you know, discredits you for so many things, just as far as personal opinions go. Because once you start getting matters of the home and matters at work, you know, interconfused, and it can go wherever the F which way. But at first when you mentioned that it was a man, I wondered, did he maybe have a sexual encounter with one? Because you figure that wouldn't be far from someone powerful and, you know, discreet at the same time. It could have gone so many ways. Yeah, considering where they decided to attack, they wanted to make it the most plausible at the same time. And
it seems like TMZ is attacking them because it is well documented that what's his name, Harvey Levin, the guy that runs TMZ, he's a Trump supporter. He loves him some Trump. And so
is he really?
Yeah, that's been this whole thing during this whole Trump era. He won't talk about it, but he's a Donald Trump supporter.
And so they go back though, like just considering like they came from an affluent sort of, you know, saying whatchamacallit, you know, he's looking out for him, you know, as homies do.
Unfortunately. But yeah, so that's the reason why the Michael Avenatti is talking about possibly suing TMZ, because he's like, this is just TMZ protecting their boy Trump. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens.
I mean, it's gonna make things interesting for damn sure.
Yes.
But it always does trip me out though, how they always have the, you know, the first on the scene kind of thing. Like, are people just quick to want to sell their stuff out to, you know, to the TMZ of the natures, or do they actually have people out in the streets like that? Is everyone just a field reporter because everyone has a phone that can record and instantly stream out to the world? Like, I wonder how that stuff pops up.
I think it's a little bit of both, because I know TMZ do seem to be everywhere. It seems like every county has a TMZ reporter that's just walking around looking for some gossip. And then we are, with the smartphones being the way they are nowadays, we do have field reporters everywhere. World Star, unfortunately, is the news in some places.
Yeah, that's sad, dude.
Yeah.
If you didn't like this podcast, it's probably cause you're racist.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings though.
Yeah. What's up, man? You hear me?